Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are digging into something that completely reframes how we build our lives. And I'm talking specifically to those of you right in the thick of it, navigating the high-pressure cooker of college. We're going to outline the big picture of God's absolute majesty first, and then we'll dive straight into the details of exactly how you can make His presence your unshakable foundation. So let's jump right in and ground ourselves directly in the Bible. Psalm 48 verses 1 and 2a says, "Great is the Lord and greatly to be praised in the city of our God, His holy mountain, beautiful in elevation." When we look at this through the lens of Reformed Calvinism theology, we see that this isn't just pretty poetic language. It establishes the absolute sovereignty of God. He is the ultimate reality. And acknowledging His absolute greatness, well, that's literally the essential first step before we can even begin to understand anything else about our lives. Section 1, the true measure of greatness. Okay, let's compare two totally different theories here. Every single day, the world bombards us with its own view of greatness, right? It's all about temporary achievements, your social popularity, your GPA, or how much influence you have online. It basically tells you your worth is tied exclusively to your resume. But the Bible's view forces a massive paradigm shift. It tells us that true greatness isn't measured by fleeting influence or what you can achieve on your own. It is found exclusively in the presence of God. When we only value what we can visibly measure, we totally miss the profound, eternal weight of who He is. Section 2, Psalm 48, the big picture. To really grasp this paradigm shift, let's quickly provide some historical context. When the psalmist actually wrote this, his community centralized all their worship geographically. But he was pushing them to see way beyond those physical stones, to a much deeper spiritual reality. The city of our God isn't just about geography. It's a powerful symbol of His presence, His protection, and His sovereign rule among His people. The city's strength comes from Him alone. It's a reminder that any real security we have is purely a direct result of His protective hand. Section 3, the unshakable foundation. So let's talk about the implications of this data for college students right now. Why does this matter? Well, when you build your life on temporary things, like chasing grades, landing that perfect internship, or worrying about campus popularity, life is inevitably going to feel incredibly unstable. Why? Because those things can literally vanish overnight. But God's presence, that provides real meaning, clear direction, and an absolutely unshakable foundation. When He is your foundation, you have absolute security no matter how stressful midterms get or how chaotic social dynamics become. You're standing on the sovereign rock of His greatness. Section 4, steps to center your life. It's one thing to get the theology, but how do we actually live this out? The research outlines a clear step-by-step process. Step 1, consciously center your life on who God is, not on your constantly fluctuating circumstances. Step 2, make time daily to praise Him. Honestly, this takes intentional discipline. You have to carve out those quiet moments. And step 3, root your identity entirely in His presence. Staying true to Reformed thought, your worth is established in His grace alone, not something you earn through your own academic achievements. Section 5, reflecting glory on campus. Now, this theological reality of His presence, it isn't meant to be kept a secret. Once you're secure in Him, that security naturally radiates outward. When God is the center of our lives, it becomes totally visible to others. You become a living testimony right in your dorm, your study groups, or at work. People are naturally drawn in when they see the awe-inspiring stability His presence provides in a world that is, frankly, pretty chaotic. So how do we actually do this? Here's the next step-by-step process for your daily routine. Step 1. Live in a way that directly points to God's character. Think patience, kindness, integrity. Step 2. Verbally share what He has done. If He's given you peace or direction, don't keep it to yourself. And step 3. Let your words and actions reflect His greatness every single day. Basically, let your entire life act as a mirror to His glory. Section 6. Your firm foundation. We've gone from the big picture of His sovereignty right down to our daily campus habits. And the clear conclusion of this research boils down to just one word, really: build. Build your life on God's greatness. It's that simple, but perfectly profound. Trusting in Him, rather than relying on temporary circumstances, is the absolute only way to achieve true stability. You're building on a rock that simply cannot be moved. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought to chew on this week. Take a hard look at your life. What are you currently relying on for stability besides God? And how can your life actually reflect His greatness this week? If your foundation is anything other than Him, it might be time to recenter. Thank you so much for joining me today. I challenge you to take these steps and start building on the only truly unshakable foundation: